Hello everyone and welcome back to CLGTR channel. So today this video will show you guys a new animus in semi-real style with Medibank Pen Pro. So let's start to draw with me. So now you can see that first I will create a sketch of the eyes, and here in the screen I draw two triangles here connect together like this and divide from one side here into half and a half triangle here. Now from that point to that point I will create a curved line and connect to the horizontal line from the side here to curve it down there, and of course the same for lower eyelid, and I can create the shape of the realistic eye with this shape. Okay, it's kind of big because you want to do semi-real style, right? So that's why that's it. Okay, that looks great. Now you can see the middle triangles in here, that will be your iris, your pupil inside, and of course don't forget the double eyelid here to create that. Go up from outside and at the end some eyelash in here, and of course you will add the eyebrow. Yeah, the eyebrow. Then you are done the first step of your sketch, the eyes in here, and as usual I will lower the opacity of this sketch in here and create a new layer. This is not the light work because I intend to do the painting style, so that's why you know that I just create a new sketch here with the clean look so I can easily to work on this later. Okay, now we will start to use the watercolor brush in here to sketch for the eyes in here. Slowly follow the sketch and create the rest of the eyes in here. When you've done the sketch, you create a new layer to paint the skin. I won't talk much about painting skin here because you can find it in my channel about previous video. I just do the same here with flat brush, watercolor and airbrush, and blending it with watercolor wet. Yeah, that's it. You can watch all of them in my previous video in my channel. Is about semi-reals eye color here in Medibank Pen Pro. Yeah, so the different things I do right now that I create a new layer for the eyelash. Why I did this? Because I don't want to make a mess with the skin layer. You know that when I will retouch a little bit more in final, so I don't want to make a mess with the eyelash in here. So that's it. Just use the light color and then use the dark color to draw the whole eyelash here. And now I create a new layer. This layer will be between the eyelash and the skin to create the iris of the eye. I will use the pen tool here to create the view of the eyes. Just pick the color and then follow the sketch to create the perfect circle. Of course, you can do that with the snap in Medibank, yeah. But I just want to make it and draw it by myself here. Connect all of them together and then use bucket tool to fill it. And then I choose Protect Alpha here. And you know what I'm going to do, that I use gradient tool. Pick two color, one dark and one light from the color box in here, and then pick gradient tool to drag it and create gradient look like this. After that, I will use airbrush and pick the dark color and draw curve around like this to make the dark look of the color. Of course, don't forget the light color here, so a little bit more light here. Decrease the size and make it look light and shining like this. And I will pick the dark color, kinda like black, to create the pupil, the dark place inside the eye. Okay, look great. So now I will pick the pink here to create the waterline and refine something, putting more light, blending a little bit to create more shadow. Look for the skin here, so I just speed up, and you don't need to watch that. Of course, we will go back with the details later. Okay, when I think that all of the skin is look okay and I won't make a mess with the eyelash anymore, I will merge all of them together and use airbrush to refine some place that I think that I need to look more detailed and more sharp here. Just use airbrush because I also want it to look kind of blurry, not really sharp here. That's what I intend to do. Now I create a new layer and choose darken. What I'm going to do in here, that I use airbrush and choose dark color to create the dark look of the eyes, just the same as you see in the celebrity that they have the dark eyelash and the smoky eye, kind of like this, but not really kind of smoky. I just want to the dark eyelash, yeah. And of course, I will create the shadow inside the eyes in here. I will decrease the size of the airbrush in here and draw for every single stroke here to make it look dark, the whole of them dark but more blurry. Of course, when you're doing like this, maybe some place in here is too dark, and you can fix that with transparent box. Just pick in the transparent box in the color wheel. You can see I'll do it later here to erase some part that you think is kinda too dark, and just happen to retouch that until you're satisfied with the result. Now I will create a new layers here, that's the layer 5, and use airbrush, pick the white color to create the white place inside the eyes in here, kinda shining like this. And of course, you must create it in another layers because you won't make a mess with the eyes later, because you do a lot of retouching here. Go back to the layer that I coloring the eyes in here. I found out that the iris is kind of too sharp for me, and I want it to look more blurry, not sharp like this. So I go back and choose the color inside the eyes in here to retouch it, drawing curve around here. And of course, I will do a little bit details in here inside the eye. Pick the dark color and draw the ring inside that. I will merge two layers in here, darken and the painting layers, because the effect is given for me is enough right now. So I will just use that, merge all of them together to easy to paint and fix that. Okay, so look great. Now I will decrease the size of the airbrush in here right now to make the details for the eyes. Pick the dark color, decrease the size of the airbrush and drop it like this to create the detail inside the eye. Look perfect. Now I will pick the light color of the eyes in here to create the shining look in below there, yeah. Go it to the white place and make it shine like this. Now the rest of your job is just refine, retouch something that you think it should be, and changing the color in here of the light work. Pick the brown to make it look soft, and of course to make it sharp somewhere it needs to. So when you're done retouch and refine your skin and your eyes, you will create a new layer between the white place and the paint skin here. So put it blending in overlay and you airbrush to drag the color, and you can see the pop-up color appear effect glide out like this. Look really lively, right? And when you are done with that, have fun with that. Maybe you want to change the color. Don't forget to use huge rotation box to move and changing color of the overlay layers in here, and you can see the different results. So that is all about this video tutorial. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you next time.